What's up YouTube, DMLX here, and today we'll be sharing my top 10 fighters I like to see in WB Games' latest free-to-play game, MultiVersus. Developed by Player First Games, MultiVersus is a crossover fighting platformer like that of another game many of you probably have heard of that features various characters within the Warner Bros. Discovery library, including those from the worlds of Looney Tunes, the DC Universe, HBO, Turner Entertainment, and Cartoon Network. The game is currently playable as an open beta and starts off with a well-established 17-character roster classified as 5 fighter types: Bruiser, Tank, Assassin, Mage, and Support, ranging from the DC Trinity including Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Finn and Jake from Adventure Time, the Iron Giant, Ultra Instinct Shaggy, and even Arya Stark from Game of Thrones, just to name a few. Personally, I'm enjoying the game so far and can't wait to see how far MultiVersus evolves over time, not only with the addition of new characters, but also new stages, skins, game modes, and better quality of life improvements overall. So when it came to making a list of characters I like to see be part of the mayhem that is MultiVersus, I opted not to include any other DC characters, but instead delved deeper into the WB vault for other recognizable IP that would give the game's roster more personality. And with that being said, let's get on with the countdown. Hopping her way in at number 10 is Lola Bunny. First appearing in the original Space Jam movie, Lola Bunny is a Looney Tune cartoon character portrayed as an anthropomorphic female rabbit and is mainly served as the romantic interest for Bugs Bunny. Lola quickly became a fan favorite due to her straight-talking, no-nonsense personality, as well as her showcase of being highly athletic and overly seductive towards others, giving those Rule 34 artists all the power in the world. If Player First Games does decide to include Lola as future DLC, I hope they stick to her Space Jam roots and give her a similar moveset to that of her Toon Squad teammate, LeBron James, with attributes more focused on speed and agility. Altering his DNA through the Omniverse at number 9 is Ben 10. As the lead in Cartoon Network's longest running franchise, Ben Tennyson was just an ordinary boy turned hero overnight after discovering the Omnitrix, an alien device which contained DNA of different alien species across the universe that possess various abilities. The Omnitrix initially contained 10 aliens, hence the name Ben 10, although Ben would later on be able to transform into more aliens as the series moved forward. Honestly, I'm surprised that Ben 10 wasn't part of the starting lineup for MultiVersus during the beta, due to the character's long-running history with Cartoon Network. That being said, I have no doubt that our alien wristwatch-wearing hero will make the roster sometime in the near future. Seeing that the potential for a character like Ben 10 is nearly limitless due to his access to various alien transformations and their abilities, from being able to tap into the speed of XLR8, having the durable skin of Diamond Head, to the strength of forearms, and even the ability to set the room ablaze with Heat Blast. Speaking of setting the room ablaze, emerging from the Netherrealm at number 8 is Scorpion. Recognized as one of the most iconic video game fighting characters of all time, Scorpion checks all the boxes for being a prime candidate when it comes to being part of the ever-growing roster of MultiVersus. For starters, being the face of WB's most popular blood-drenched and bone-crunching 30-year-long fighting game franchise, giving developers the opportunity to adapt Scorpion's iconic abilities and signature moves, including the use of his spear and flaming teleport. Not to mention the wide range of variant skins for Scorpion, from the classic yellow spandex to looking like a samurai born from Hellfire. Plus, based off previous Warner Bros. Material, it seems him and Shaggy already have some history, and knowing Scorpion, he's always down for some warm-blooded revenge. Coming off the blue pills at number 7 is Neo from The Matrix. Now, even though the most recent film, Matrix Resurrections, left little to be desired from the sci-fi bullet-time action-packed franchise, there's no denying that Keanu Reeves as Neo is one of WB's most iconic protagonists in the studio's history. And I think if Neo were to be developed for MultiVersus, I can see his moveset being quite fun when it comes to the use of his telekinetic abilities and mastery of Kung Fu.
I know Kung Fu. Show me.
As well as the potential of the use of bullet time as a dodge move or a counter strike against incoming projectiles and melee attacks. But the real question is, can Player First Games get Keanu to reprise the role for MultiVersus? I mean, if Keanu is willing to play a talking tumbleweed in a SpongeBob movie, I'm sure he'll have no problem voicing the character that defined his career. Having to say his name 3 times to appear as number 6 is Beetlejuice. From the 1987 Tim Burton film of the same name, but different spelling, Beetlejuice is probably the biggest wildcard pick on my list and will bring a great amount of chaotic paranormal energy to the roster of MultiVersus, seeing that he's portrayed as an obnoxious and devious bioexorcist from the Netherworld. Beetlejuice's range of powers and abilities span out quite far, from being able to shapeshift into hideous creatures, warp reality around him, having the ability to possess other people, as well as conjure up random objects, just to name a few. Honestly, I think the chances of Beetlejuice coming to MultiVersus are higher than one might think, but just to be sure, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice!
It's showtime.
Trying to find his way back to the past at number 5 is Samurai Jack. Originating from one of Cartoon Network's best action-focused animated series of all time, the samurai transported to a dystopian future by the demon Aku would make another solid addition to the roster of MultiVersus, with warrior skills ranging from the use of Jack's mystical katana, guns, explosives, and even a motorcycle that shreds through enemies like paper. Not to mention the various outfits Jack has worn throughout the series that would be nice to see adapted in-game, from Battle Damage Jack, Gangster Jack, Rave Jack, Aku Infected Jack, Armored Jack, and of course the goat of all fits, Underwear Jack. Hailing from the planet Thundera at number 4 is Lionel. Leader of the Thundercats, Lionel is the main protagonist of the humanoid feline franchise and wields a legendary Sword of Omens, which is able to fire bolts of energy and allows Lionel to see across great distances with its power of sight beyond sight, as well as the Claw Shield, a gauntlet that launches grappling lines from its claws. If developed the right way, I think the addition of Lionel to MultiVersus would help spark a rejuvenated interest in the Thundercats IP, seeing that the brand has taken a bit of a nosedive in recent years with the cancellation of the underrated 2011 reboot, a movie being in development hell, and the most sinful adaptation of them all, Thundercats Roar.
Now, what do you say we watch a little video clip? Actually, I don't have any idea what this thing is.
Why are we funding this?
Cackling their way to the top 3 is the Wicked Witch of the West. If there's one villain in WB's catalog that deserves to take part in this gaming crossover event, it's the Wicked Witch of the West, whose screeching laugh has stood the test of time and melded in the minds of many for over 80 years since the release of the 1939 film adaptation of Wizard of Oz. In terms of moveset, I can see the developers being real creative with the Wicked Witch as a mage, whether it's the use of her broom to maneuver around the stage, summon flying monkeys to assist her in combat, use smoke as a teleport, or plant poppies around the stage to make opponents fall asleep for a short period of time. Oh, and she's got to have an animation where she's melting, either as an emote or part of the end result screen if she's on the losing team. Stepping out of the Oasis at number 2 is Parzival from Ready Player One. Known as Wade Watts in the real world, Parzival is Wade's virtual avatar for the Oasis, a massively multiplayer online simulator that started out as an online gaming platform, but gradually became a global network seemingly essential to everyday life. If any character knows a thing or two about crossover events, it's Parzival, having interacted with various pop culture icons, objects, and locations within the world of the Oasis. Additionally, I wouldn't mind seeing Artemis developed as a gender swap variant skin, like how Kate is a skin for Jake. Also, being an avatar from the Oasis, Parzival has access to a sizable loot of weapons and equipment from various media, though it'd probably be a bit of a licensing nightmare to try incorporating non-WB items to Parzival's moveset. Porking his way to the number 1 spot is the boy who lived, Harry Potter. The Wizarding World is undeniably one of WB's biggest movie franchises they own alongside DC and Lord of the Rings, so color me shocked to find out that Harry Potter or any character from this world of magic isn't part of the starting lineup for MultiVersus. There's no doubt in my mind that if Harry Potter were to be added into MultiVersus, he'd probably be the most used / competitive mage in the game. Due to the various spells he has the ability to cast, from Expelliarmus, Expecto Patronum, to Accio, as well as Harry's ability to use port keys to potentially teleport around the stage and use his flying broom for aerial mobility. Now, there is some speculation that the reason for Harry Potter's delayed inclusion in MultiVersus is because of the controversy surrounding J.K. Rowling and her views on certain topics that we won't get into on this video, but that can all just be smoke and mirrors, with player first games just saving some of the high profile WB characters for a later date. So let me just say in the comments down below about my list of characters I'd like to see in MultiVersus, and what characters would you like to see from WB's catalog make an appearance in MultiVersus as the game continues to evolve over time. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button, it really helps me out. Subscribe for more content from me on MultiVersus and other games in general. I'm DMLX. I'll see you in the future.